Okay, here we go with the truth again. She says this is why Darlie was offered a deal in 2005. Before that, Texas did not have life without parole. Texas knows the case is totally circumstantial, but they already got the conviction. She was offered a deal because no attorney is going to come with you with an offer that you can't possibly get. Plea deals are not written until the deal is accepted. Okay, I'm going to go down. I'm going to have to explain this again. First of all, we've heard from Craig Watkins, the DA of Dallas, who said that her conviction stands and that the jury got it right, so they're not going to offer her a deal. We also have Lisa something or other, another DA, I forget her last name, who wrote to us and told us that Darlie was not offered any deal. Right? And then we had Toby Shook, who actually prosecuted her. Now, I called him up, I put it on video, and he said, no, Darlie wasn't offered a deal. So what happened was, she's totally correct. Texas did change this. Right? Texas did change this. All right? So the lawyers went to her, and they said, Darlie, Texas has put this thing in place. All right? So if you are willing to admit that you killed your children, we could save your life. He didn't come with her with a letter from the DA that said they would do that. He came with a letter to her. It was a letter to her that we somehow have. So I'm going to tell you why Darlie's not stupid. First of all, she said, life isn't worth living if I have to admit that I killed my children. That's a fact. Plus, you'd be taken off of death row. You'd have no more appeals, no questions asked. You're done for life. And then when you get taken off of death row and go to general population, there's female inmates in there that would love to see their kids, that didn't hurt a child, that would kill Darlie. She was not offered a deal. She would never get parole, just like my son's never going to get parole. She knows that. So this is what I wrote to her. So, what, are you trying to say that they offered her a deal because they think they got it wrong? After 10 years of her being in there? After the courts have held it up and held it up and held it up and held it up all these years, the courts have held it up, right? 3 different DAs said that they didn't do that. When you show me something written by a DA and she turns it down, then you'll have something to say. Like I said, the question is, that letter was sent to Darlie, right? Darlie wanted to make sure the public saw it, so they'd have people out here saying this. She turned down a deal. She must be innocent. The deal wasn't to get her out. The deal was to stop her from the death penalty. And if she would live a week or so in general population there, she'd have the death penalty. It's not fucking stupid. And God love Tracy. She keeps on going on. She says, I won't admit that the judge said he has Alzheimer's on the stand because he didn't say that. Mulder was questioning him because they knew that he was possibly going through some medical stuff, right, at that time, because he wasn't diagnosed with it for 10 years. And the judge said, well, I might be to the Z in Alzheimer's, but I'm completely competent. Mulder asked him that. She said, well, why did Mulder have to ask him that? He didn't have to. That's what he was trying to imply. Just like when Danelle tells me that her father did not molest Darlie, when Darlie said that on the stand that she did, right? Mulder also confirmed it. He said, tell us about, why would you let your son, they want to know, why would you let your sons go with the man who molested you? That is something they do not want to talk about in this case, and it's itching me. It's bothering me. Because here's my point. If they'll cover for Dennis Stahl, like all of them have been, then they'll damn sure cover for Darlie. And if Darlie says on the stand that he molested her, and her sister says he did not molest her, who's the liar? Now, Rich seems to think that Tracy knows this case very well. Well, I have debated her before on Laura's channel. She's stuck on this letter and Alzheimer's. And I keep asking her, about if the judge had Alzheimer's, right? Let's say he had Alzheimer's. I keep asking her to show me where the judge made mistakes in the case because of his Alzheimer's. She just can't answer that. Now, this is the same judge that agreed to allow Darlie to take a lie detector test without the knowledge of the district attorney. His Alzheimer's must have set in on that, right? When he was being fair to her. And to this day, they've never released the results of that lie detector test. They can keep saying, oh, it's inconclusive. But the only ones that know whether it's inconclusive or not is Darlie and the two people that were in the room with her when she took the test. We heard that from Darlie. And then, when I ask Sully something, truth, it's not up to you to tell me to quit asking her that. Sully is a fucking liar. She never served on a case as an expert witness. And she wants to sit up there and make everybody think she's this and that. Rich had to correct her twice on the case. And she says, well, I'm green on the case. I don't know it that well. Then know it before you speak on letting a child killer out. Darlie was never offered that deal. Look into it. She was asked if she would consider this new thing that Texas put out. And she said no. And that was a very wise choice of hers because she'd probably be dead now if she did. They would kill her. Those other inmates would make her life miserable in there. They don't take too kindly to baby killers in any prison. I'm surprised my son hasn't had any problems, to be honest with you. And honestly, I really hope she gets a new trial too, because they'll use the evidence that came after her conviction. Stuff that she said. Stuff that she's done. After her conviction. And they'll use that against her. Right? I hope she gets a new trial too, because we'll have the same result. But then we'll be done with it. Give her a new trial. Maybe you can have Danelle or somebody up there be a witness for her going, I'm not answering that. You don't believe me? I'm not listening to that. You're rude. You're vicious. Nope. I'm not listening to none of that. No, you'll listen to what I have to say, and that's it. Yeah, that'll get her out.